Introducing SpeechAlone.
Taliban has been able to successfully form a cabinet which is all but inclusive. The newly formed government will step ahead in cementing its grip of Afghanistan. According to reports, they are set to hold in an oath-taking the 11th of September. Remember, of September, a day which also marks the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks in the U.S. in 2001. The newly formed Taliban government has already rolled out invitations to various countries to be part of the oath-taking ceremony. The nations include China, Pakistan, Iran, Qatar, India, and the United States. However, Taliban have not commented on the oath-taking ceremony of the newly formed government. The moves amid Taliban's outreach for international support and recognition for their cabinet. Remember, Taliban had said that they already have established relationships with neighbors, including China. They have called on the countries to reopen their embassies in the war-torn nation. However, the international community is still not ready to recognize the announced interim government. Non-inclusivity of certain sections of society and representation of various old guards who are listed as proscribed terrorists by the United Nations are a few of the many issues the international community has. Meanwhile, the United States, in its recent reaction on the Taliban government formation, has said that the cabinet does not reflect what the international community and the US had hoped to see. On the other hand, the Taliban have lashed out at the international criticism against the members of their interim setup, especially the US, who they say are violating the Doha peace agreement by not recognizing the interim Taliban government. And for more on this, our correspondent Anas Malik joins us live from Kabul, Afghanistan. Malik, good to see you. What do we know, or what more do we know about the oath-taking ceremony? What can we expect about this plan? Because the day coincides with the 9/11 20th anniversary.
Well, yes, Eric, there are reports that the oath-taking might just take place tomorrow on the 20th anniversary of the heinous 9/11 attacks. These are just reports as we speak. We're yet to see a confirmation coming in from the Taliban on this matter, because we've previously seen that the modus operandi of Taliban has been that they have been denying, or how they have been operating is the fact that they have been trying to deny the reports, whatever that has been reported in the media all along, be that be for the government formation or be that be for the airport takeover as well. This particular report can be seen in that manner as well. We reached out to Taliban officials with regards to this confirmation on that, but we're yet to hear back. But what we can confirm that 6 countries had been invited, at least 6 of them. There are now reports that the United States and Egypt have also been invited. These reports are unsubstantiated or unconfirmed as yet. The 6 countries that are confirmed that have been invited include Pakistan, China, Iran, Russia, Turkey, and Qatar. The Russian envoy and the Uzbek envoy are to participate as well in the oath-taking ceremony. This is what has been confirmed to me by multiple sources as well. But as we speak, there is no official word rather with regards to the oath-taking ceremony. There is increased speculation that it can take place on the 11th of September, that is tomorrow, at the Presidential Palace. Eric,
and oath-taking ceremony.
Some of these countries which have been invited or so by the Taliban. Do we have any confirmation from any of these countries which have been invited?
Well, yes, the Russian Foreign Minister, in fact, Sergei Lavrov, on Monday had confirmed it to their state news agency that they had indeed received an invite, and that they would be sending, they would be participating only if the government is inclusive. Then on Tuesday we saw the announcement coming in from the Taliban in announcing their set of ministers, which includes 1 Uzbek and 2 Tajiks. And by and large the other 30 are Pashtuns. So the notion of inclusivity that remained to be seen, or that was basically nullified. But then after that we saw another report coming in, and in the Russian news state news agency, which quoted officials from Russia and said
did you
that
say
the
Russia?
Russian ambassador would be participating.
Did you say Russia?
I spoke to some Taliban sources as well. They said the
Rachel Maddow
Uzbek
on the
ambassador
phone.
is also to likely participate in the oath-taking ceremony. It is still unclear whether or not China and Pakistan would be represented in this much anticipated oath-taking ceremony, as in when it would be.
September 10th.
But 6 countries are
At
confirmed. There are
9:06
reports of
Central
more
Standard
invites
Time.
being sent out,
And the
especially
Taliban is taking
Egypt and
oaths.
to the United States of America. Egypt
Should we
might
be
have some
worried?
diplomatic presence as we speak in the country,
I got a better
or they would be, but their ambassador is currently
we
not in town. With regards to the US, the US has completely wrapped up its
Why don't we
physical diplomatic presence
reflect
from Kabul, and they are
on the
operating their
oaths?
Kabul mission out of Doha.
At the Library of Congress, we are proud to solemnly swear to preserve and protect so many of the documents that bind our nation together. One of these is this, a 1789 copy of the Constitution. It's signed by George Washington, the first president to take that oath on April 30th, 1789. It's in Article 2, Section 1, and it specifies the precise language. As our founders wrote, before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And now,
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics. Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's it going? It's Saturday morning. I hope everybody's good. You just started school. Hey, the weekend. You still got a weekend. We still got weekends. We still got constitutions. We still got life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for now. Chat's open, guys, if y'all want to converse with me, because I want to talk about some stuff. I'm going to lay it all out on the table right now because I'm fed up. Let me just tell you this. After getting the energy from Andrew Z. Smith yesterday on the activism, guys, our country could be so much better if we just open our fucking eyes and realize these two parties are killing us slowly. They're stupid. They're doing a coup against we the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union. So, first thing I want to say before I get to Mr. Biden. Yes, Mr. Biden, I'm going to unload on you today. First, we're going to talk about the Taliban and how they're holding an oath-taking ceremony on September 11th. And I don't give a shit. Humiliation. This is from Reuters. The famous no leaked audio. I'm going to give you a transcript. Reuters. Humiliation. Taliban plan to hold cabinet oath-taking ceremony on 9/11. The Taliban have sparked outrage and reports amidst the militant groups for an oath-taking ceremony for Afghanistan's interim cabinet on Saturday, the same day that marks the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you take us on the same day we had 9/11? I mean, guys, it's all really about perspective. Because, we spent $20 trillion of our blood and treasure on it that folded in 2 days. You could look at this and say, wow, look at this. They're taking oaths like us. They're learning. Maybe this marks a good time in the 20th anniversary of 9/11 where, no, but does the military industrial complex want to have a good perspective on that? No. Does the media? No, because they serve the military industrial complex and the CIA. This is an Orwellian nightmare, guys. Meanwhile, we have a dementia-riddled old man as the head and chief of state of our country. I know what's going going on, guys, but it still disturbs me every day to this face as the president of the United States, this confused face looking at me, begging me to take a vaccine. I took your vaccine, bro. I got Moderna. But let me tell you something, Joe. I'm a leftist and I've always had my principles and values. I've always been pro-choice, pro-gay, pro-black. I've always been a hand down to the people that are, not the majority. I've always been in the minority. And I'm in the minority now, guys, because Trump had his little phone call with Raffensperger. Can I find 11,000 votes? Everybody loved it, ate it up. The liberals did. Now Biden has this leaked audio. And now all of a sudden the Repub fans are eating it up. Guess what? Andrew made a really good point yesterday. How is it leaked? Who leaked? Why are you leaking diplomatic phone calls from the president? How is he supposed to do diplomacy? Is that the point? So he's not supposed to do diplomacy? I don't think Joe's even interested in doing diplomacy because Joe's doing vaccine mandates. He fancies himself a king. Guys. Doing vaccine mandates, mandating vaccines. Where's all the people that say my body, my choice? Where are all the pro-choice liberals out there? Tucker Carlson's right, guys. I don't give a shit what you call him. You can call him a white supremacist. You call him a Fox Newser. You can call him a Kremlin puppet. I'm done with your stupid propaganda. He's got a fucking point. Where are you? Where'd you go? Where's your pro-choice now? You got to pretend that you weren't pro-choice this whole time? And now you're going to bitch about the Texas abortion laws when this dementia-riddled old man is doing vaccine mandates on the executive orders. Mandating vaccines, guys. Look, I took the vaccine. I think the vaccine's good. Well, the one I took anyway. I don't know about all of them. I went through a very careful study. I went to the Dalai Lama. I went to fucking Santa Claus, and I went to the Easter Bunny to ask everybody. I asked everybody about it. I did my own little journey, and I thought Moderna was the best for me. Some people are doing that too. They don't need anybody to mandate anything. Not abortions, not vaccines. They get choices in this country because we, the people in this country, Joe, we promote the general welfare. We secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We do not need you to be a king. So as the Taliban's taking oaths, it's probably safe to say that, the presidential inauguration, guys, it's the public ritual of American representative government. It's when our head of state swears a sacred oath to the American people. It's a sacred oath, guys. It's one George Washington swore, Thomas Jefferson swore, Franklin Delano Roosevelt swore. Unlike the coronation of a monarch or any ritual associated with the rise of power of a dictator or autocrat, the inauguration of a president is a cyclical, I can't even read my writing, cyclical, regularly scheduled event, guys, in which the president swears. He makes a swear. What does he swear, guys?
The sun is shining, and Mr. President-elect, this is the first inauguration in the history of America where J-Lo was the warm-up act for Chief Justice Roberts. With that, it is now my distinct honor to introduce the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, John Roberts, to administer the presidential oath to the next President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United
the
States
office of President of the United States,
and will, to the best of my ability,
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
What will you do, Joe? What will you do, Joe? You will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. You swore an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, Joe. In that Constitution, Joe, who has the power? Do you? Does the CIA director, Joe? Does the DOJ, Joe? Do you? Who has the power, Joe? It's what I'm trying to get these Democrats and Republicans to understand, but they don't want to understand it because they want to maintain power. That's the only reason they exist. So they're sycophants, emboldening them, enabling them, bring abortion laws on themselves, bring vaccine mandates on themselves. Don't you get it, guys? All of the problems that we face and will face in the future is the Democrats and Republicans. So when you look at it, all the Trump, and you look at Joe, just know that you guys brought this on yourselves. Because these guys swore to preserve and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And they haven't. They also swore to keep enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, we have a 9/11 and we have a pandemic currently. Did they keep their oaths? Why are they still in office? Open your fucking eyes.
Academy for Social Change presents Inauguration Day. You may have seen pictures of a newly elected American president standing in front of a crowd, raising one hand as if taking a pledge. Their family might have been looking on proudly, with one of them perhaps holding a Bible, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will be there too. So what exactly is happening? These pictures depict Inauguration Day, when a new presidential term is commemorated and the president-elect is sworn into office. Inauguration Day is a long-standing tradition in American history and has become a hallmark of our democratic process. The inauguration is
Mr. Gribbers told me my mother was here with a note. That's not my mother. Dear Tim and Moby, what is the U.S. Constitution? Is it a law? From Jake. A constitution is a basic set of rules for government. It lays out how the government of a particular country works. So the U.S. Constitution does that for the United States. When our nation was founded, most countries were ruled by kings and queens. They had nearly absolute authority to make decisions for everyone and do whatever they wanted. But our founders wanted a system based on the rule of law. Everyone in the country, no matter who they are, has to follow the law. And the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. That means all other laws have to stay within the limits it sets out. Any law that conflicts with it is illegal and declared unconstitutional. Well, the people who wrote the Constitution, called the Framers, divided it into several sections. First, there's the preamble, or introduction, which sets out the goals of the document. Then come the 7 main sections, called articles. Each article covers one part of government or a key government process, like how a new state can join the country, or the rules for appointing a judge. Finally, we have additions to the original document, called amendments. The framers knew the country would grow and evolve in ways they couldn't predict. So, the Constitution includes rules to amend or change the Constitution itself. But passing an amendment is way more difficult than passing a law. Since the Constitution's creation more than 200 years ago, it's only been amended 27 times. Our Constitution is based on a few core principles. One is self-government, also called popular sovereignty. The preamble starts with the words, "We the people," in huge letters. The idea is that the American people are creating a government through the Constitution. The power to rule belongs to us. But it wouldn't be practical if we had to weigh in on every decision the country needs to make. So we elect leaders to represent us in Washington. They make choices on our behalf by passing laws, appointing judges, running agencies, all that stuff. This kind of government is called a republic. We, the people, lend our power to representatives. If we don't like how they use it, we elect someone else the next time around. If our representatives try to abuse their power, that's against the law. They can only do what the Constitution allows them to. If a power isn't specifically written there, they don't have it. This principle of limited government prevents our leaders from grabbing too much power. It's like the flip side of popular sovereignty. We, the people, start off with all the power, and the government starts off with no power beyond what we give it. State governments are another big limitation. The Constitution strikes a balance between national and state power. This system is called federalism. Delegated powers are those granted to the federal government. Like, it has the power to print money and declare war. While the states get reserved powers, like the power to establish schools and make new marriage laws. Some powers are shared by the nation and the states, like collecting taxes. These are called concurrent powers. Of course, both state and federal governments are limited by the Constitution. Besides having to share power with the states, the federal government itself is divided. The separation of powers splits control of the government into 3 branches. That ensures that no single branch will gain too much power. The legislative branch, which consists of both chambers of Congress, makes the laws. The executive branch, which includes the president, enforces the laws. And the judicial branch, which is the whole federal court system, reviews the laws. This division also creates a system of checks and balances. That means that each branch checks or limits the other branch's power. Like when Congress passes a law, the president can veto or reject it. But with enough votes, Congress can override the veto and pass it anyway. After a law passes, the federal courts can rule that it violates the Constitution. The highest court, called the Supreme Court, makes the final decision about constitutionality. Individual rights are another big check on the government's power. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, lists some of those liberties. They include freedom of speech, the right to a jury trial, freedom of the press, and protection against unfair searches. These amendments were added just after the Constitution itself was approved. Many of the later amendments cover individual rights too. The 13th Amendment outlaws slavery. 14 says that state governments have to respect the same individual rights as the federal government. 15 and 19 gave African Americans and then women the right to vote. Remember how the people have the power in our democracy? Voting is how we exercise that power. It took a while for Americans to realize that we the people includes all of the people. So we updated the Constitution to reflect that. Well, that's the thing about the U.S. Constitution. It isn't perfect, but it gives us everything we need to make it, well, more perfect. That's what it means when people say that it's a living document. As our values change, the Constitution adapts while still holding to its core principles, which I guess is its own kind of perfection. Hey, I really have to get to my next class, Moby. I mean, Mom.
You see, Joe, The Constitution is its own kind of perfection, Joe. Bill of Rights gave us individual rights, not rights for the collectivist blob, not rights for the majority. Individual rights. That every individual has inalienable rights given by his creator of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, Joe. Popular sovereignty, Joe. Self-government, Joe. We the people, Joe. So here's the deal, buddy. Your vaccine mandates are unconstitutional, buddy. Look fat. You ever been to Iowa? Because if you said the shit that you were about to say in this speech that I'm going to play, and I haven't seen it all, the first 5 minutes pissed me off. Made me want to live stream. I have to listen to it. So I thought the only way I could possibly listen to it is if I was live streaming it, so that I can have other people comment on it. So get on the chat if you can, guys. Let me know if I'm overreacting. But I don't think so. I think that these two parties have stepped all the fuck over our popular sovereignty since last year, since the Patriot Act. Where are the checks and balances now? In the fucking trash because of these two parties. These two parties have trashed our goddamn country. Glenn Greenwald, guys. A fucking Glenn Greenwald tweet. The president has the power acting alone to set health policies for private employers, forcing them to fire their workers who don't comply. We've allowed presidential powers to become virtually limitless. Well, Congress has. This is quite a power. Yeah, isn't it funny how the president has the power to set health policies for private employees? He also has the power to drone strike Middle Eastern countries without a declaration of war from Congress. Limitless, Glenn. It's limitless. It's fucking limitless, bro. You think this is what the way that this? You think this was the way the founders, the framers wanted it? If they had a choice between black people, not slaves, and you fucking up their constitution, they probably would have freed us themselves. I know they didn't envision me having a vote and a voice, but now none of us do. Not even the white people have a voice. Only the elites, only the 1% and the political class that constantly fucking fool and dupe all 30% of this country that still thinks that their votes count into voting for them. It's absolutely fucking absurd. It's absolutely absurd to vote for a Democrat and Republican at this moment, guys. After they literally broken all of their vows, have not preserved the Constitution, have not protected us from threats, foreign and domestic. And to top it all off, guys, the first president of the United States of America said, political parties may now and then answer popular ends. They are likely, in the course of time and things, to become potent engines by which cunning, ambitious, unprincipled men will subvert for their own means the reins of power. Afterwards, the very engines which have lifted them to unjust dominion. That's what George Washington said. Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ, he was fucking smart. He's pretty smart. Pretty smart guy. So, let's listen to the speech. Let's see what Joe has to say in his speech. Hopefully he's preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution. Because that's what he swore in his inauguration. Joe, you tried 4 times to be president, bro. You finally got it. You swore the oath, though.
As a country and use those tools. If we raise our vaccination rate, protect ourselves and others.
Okay.
As COVID-19
what the fuck?
has been hitting this country hard, we have the tools to combat the virus. If we can come together as a country and use those tools. If we raise our vaccination rate, protect ourselves and others with masking, expanded testing, and identify people who are infected, we can and we will turn the tide on COVID-19. It'll take a lot of hard work. It's going to take some time. Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated. Even even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
So let's just stop right there. I got a few things to say, Joe. First of all, COVID has been hitting this country hard. Not so much, Joe. Actually, the COVID hasn't been hitting this country so hard. Your party closed down the fucking economy. Your party fucking lost the HEROES Act and lost unemployment benefits. Your party put evictions moratorium in a fucking purgatory state to where people don't know if they're going to be able to live in their homes next month. Your party was the one who did mandates and fucking usurped the Bill of Rights and our individual rights and our popular sovereignty. Your party, Joe, is the problem. Your party has been hitting this country hard. Not COVID. I never met COVID. My sister got COVID. A lot of people I know got COVID. I know COVID's real. But nobody's hit me as hard as you and your fucking party, Joe. Nobody has. My friends in the fucking military that died for your wars, was that COVID, Joe? Or was that your fucking party? So, COVID has been hitting this country hard. I just want to say, Joe, you have been hitting this country fucking hard. You and your fucking stupid ass party. Don't even get me started about the Republicans, but we're just talking about you and your stupid party right now. We'll get to the Republicans in a bit. Anyway, Joe. Continue, Joe. Continue with your fucking speech.
You might be confused about what is true and what is false about COVID-19. So, steps to fight COVID-19 that I'm going to be announcing tonight. Let me give you some clear information about where we stand.
All right, let's just stop right there.
First.
So if Joe really wanted me to if Joe really wanted me to actually think that this was true, why would I listen to a lying, liar, plagiarist, Tara Reid, a sex abuser, douchebag, racist, dementia-riddled old man? First, you tell me the vaccine's safe, Joe. That makes me nervous because I know you're a liar and I know everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. So I was talking to my doctor and she said it was safe, but then I see your lying ass on television telling me it's safe. Joe, I think that you need to get out of your own fucking way because most of everything you say makes me question everything because I know that you lie all the time. You lie all the time, bro. You don't even know when you're lying. You're so dementia-riddled, you don't even know you're lying anymore. Everybody knows it, bro. You tell whoppers all day long. So when you go on the bully pulpit and tell me the vaccine's safe, and you're so annoyed with the people who haven't been unvaccinated, maybe you should shut the fuck up about the vaccine and let us talk to our doctors. Maybe then more people would be vaccinated if you just shut the fuck up, Joe. I'm just saying. Because you talking about it makes people nervous because you're a liar, just so you know.
We've made considerable progress in battling COVID-19. When I became president, about 2 million Americans were fully vaccinated. Today, over 175 million Americans have that protection. Before I took office, we hadn't ordered enough vaccine for every American. Just weeks in office, we did. The week before I took office on January 20th of this year, over 25,000 Americans died.
So, see, this is what pisses me off, guys, is he's telling me the vaccine, I should get vaccinated. But did you just see how he wanted to take credit for the shots? He wants to take credit for the shots, guys, while he's telling me the vaccine's safe. So what does that make me think subliminally? It makes me think that you want me to take the shot so you can take credit for it, Joe. And not that it's safe. Plus factor in the fact that you're a liar and I'm unvaccinated. No, I trust my doctor. She said to get Moderna, so I did. But not because of you, bro. You were the thing that was making me question it. So maybe if you just shut the fuck up and stop talking about how, oh, when I took office, before I took office. If you really cared about the American people, why would you fucking mention how before you took office? Why don't you talk about the present? Why don't you talk about right now when the people of the country need help before you took office? That sounds like some kind of campaign thing. Are you campaigning, Joe? Trying to maintain power, Joe? Because that's all you want to do, Joe. So that's why when you tell me the vaccine's safe, I don't fucking believe you. Because you're a lying politician that wants to maintain power. So if you really wanted people to take the vaccine, you'd shut the fuck up about it.
That week of COVID-19. Last week, that grim weekly toll was down 70%. And in 3 months before I took office, our economy was faltering, creating just 50,000 jobs a month. We're now averaging 700,000 new jobs a month in the past 3 months. This progress is real.
Joe, you don't remember when your fucking party told everybody to stay at home and you locked down the entire fucking country, Joe? You don't remember that? Trump was saying it's the best economy God ever made. And then you locked down the whole entire country while Nancy Pelosi got haircuts. You don't remember that, Joe? Maybe that has something to do with the jobs and the labor and the fact that people couldn't pay their rent, which is why they're facing evictions crises. Because your stupid fucking party locked everybody down and lost the HEROES Act and funneled all the wealth to the 1% through foreign aid and gave us $600 fucking dollars. And then shortchanged us when we voted for your stupid Georgia senators. $2,000 checks out the door? No. Oh, no, that didn't happen, did it, Joe? Because you already gave us $600. You nickel and dime the American people while giving foreign aid to your fucking patsy friends and your CIA intelligence stupid knuckleheads. That's why.
But while America is much better shape than it was 7 months ago when I took office, I need to tell you a second fact.
Sorry, guys, I don't mean to keep yelling.
We're in the tough stretch, and it could last for a while. Highly contagious Delta variant that I began to warn America about back in July spread late summer, like it did in other countries before us. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated, we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And it's caused by the fact that despite America having unprecedented and successful vaccination program, despite the fact that for almost...
So let's talk about your vaccination program. Let's talk about your government contracts to pharmaceutical companies who are this present moment getting sued for their narcotics abuses and their shady, unethical behaviors. You gave them contracts like Johnson & Johnson. You gave them government contracts, Joe. So it's just like so funny because, I do believe that I thought, I didn't get really sick or anything with Moderna. I don't know about the others, but like, I'm perfectly fine with this shit, but I understand why people don't trust you. And you're in campaign mode right now, talking about, this last year, we need to get more this last. You're already campaigning for your next election, Joe. That's what you're doing right now. Can't you just hear this language, guys? Before I took office, when I took office, he's making pros and contrasts so you can fucking elect him again. That's what he's thinking about. He's not thinking about us. So that's why people look at that and then they see that and they wonder, this lying sack of shit who only wants to get reelected again probably won't, because you're going to be dead by the time 4 years are up, bro. You probably will, bro, because you're losing it. You really had the fucking tenacity, and you had the cute little boyish, I'm going to smell your hair charm early on, bro, in your career. But now it's just like you're falling apart, bro. You are. I can see all your tells. I can see every tell you tell. Every one of them, Joe. You're not a good politician anymore because I can see right through you, bro. You're like a ghost. You're like nearly headless Nick from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, bro. The Democrats are going to have to get a much more convincing liar next time, like Kamala.
Those 5 months, free vaccines have been available in 80,000 different locations. We still have nearly 80 million Americans who have failed to get the shot. And to make matters worse, there are elected officials actively working to undermine the fight against COVID-19. Instead of encouraging people to get vaccinated and mask up, they're ordering mobile morgues for the unvaccinated dying of COVID in their communities. This is totally unacceptable.
Mobile morgues?
If you wonder how all this adds up,
Can somebody please fact check that?
The vast majority of Americans are doing the right thing. Nearly 3/4 of the eligible have gotten at least one shot, but 1/4 has not gotten any. That's nearly 80 million Americans not vaccinated.
So, let's talk about the 80 million Americans not vaccinated real quick, guys. So, most of the people not vaccinated don't go to the doctor. Why don't they go to the doctor? Because when you go to the doctor, you have to have health insurance. You have to have the health insurance premiums, and you have to have copays. 80% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck, guys. Paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford copays. They can't afford premiums. Not even your stupid Obamacare premiums they can't afford. They can't afford it, Joe. Why don't you give them health care? Why don't you give them Medicare for all, Joe? Then maybe they could get the shot. Do you see this, guys? Actions speak louder than words, guys. You're putting a lying, dementia-riddled old man up in front of me, chastising me for not taking a vaccine. And he doesn't give you Medicare for all in the middle of a pandemic. And then he blames it on the unvaccinated. He blames up. He's punching down. How not left-wing is that? These Democrats are not left-wing in the slightest, bro. The fact they call themselves the left is an insult to me. You are literally, 80% of the country lives paycheck to paycheck. Can't go see a doctor, even if it's not a pandemic. Don't have the money, Joe. They're working 50 hours a week, Joe. They got kids, Joe. Kids. You want them to get vaccinated? Why don't you give them Medicare for all? Why don't you do that? Because you don't give a shit. That's why, Joe. You just want to get reelected. You want to maintain power. You want to talk about how everything was, before you came into office, it was bad. Now when you came into office, it was good. That makes me look good. Then I can get reelected. Then I can maintain power. Then I can maintain power for my party. Do you give a shit about the American people? No. If you gave a shit about the American people, Joe, you give them Medicare for all. If you gave a shit about the people, you'd shut the fuck up about the vaccines because you're a polarizing, racist, dementia-riddled old man. And you talking about it literally pisses people off. You don't think you know that? You should know that by now. You should know you piss people off by now. Hillary does. Hillary went out of her way not to campaign for her fucking election. She literally knew every time she campaigned, she'd get worse fucking polling. She was the most unpopular Democratic nominee of all time. And she knew it. She was smarter than you. You're fucking dumb as fuck. Continue, Joe.
And a country as large as ours, that's 25% minority. That 25% can cause a lot of damage, and they are.
Yeah, those minorities can cause a lot of damage, bro.
Unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals.
Super predators. They can cause a lot of damage, can't they?
Intensive care units.
Why don't you just call them super predators while you're at it?
No room for someone with a heart attack or pancreatitis or
no conscience,
cancer.
no empathy.
And fourth, I want to emphasize that the vaccines provide very strong protection from severe illness from COVID-19. I know there's a lot of confusion and misinformation, but the world's leading scientists confirm that if you're vaccinated, Your risk of
I'm confused. There's a lot of confusion on my part, Joe, because I'm wondering why you're not giving Medicare for all in the middle of a pandemic. I'm wondering why the Senate parliamentarian ex-nayed minimum wage increases when you're about to raise taxes. You were about to raise taxes and you didn't give a minimum wage increase, Joe. And you didn't give health care in the middle of a pandemic, Joe. So I'm confused. I must have been watching some Tucker Carlson, Kremlin puppet, Russian asset, Assad apologist. Because I'm confused. You want people to get the shot, but you're not going to give people fucking health care. I'm confused, Joe. Maybe I need to get fact-checked, Joe. Fact-check me, Joe. Rachel Maddow needs to fucking fact-check my ass. Because I don't understand what's going on. Blaming fucking minorities that can't afford to go to the doctor.
Very low. In fact,
your ass can literally sign Medicare for all.
Only one out of 160,000 fully vaccinated Americans.
And you can legalize marijuana while you're at it.
For COVID per day. These are the facts.
The fact is, you could fucking deschedule marijuana.
The path ahead,
right now,
even with the Delta variant, is not nearly as bad as last winter. But what makes it incredibly more frustrating is that we have the tools to combat COVID-19. And a distinct minority of Americans,
those fucking distinct minorities,
minority of elected officials,
God damn it,
are keeping us from turning the corner.
These fucking niggers, they just won't let us fucking turn the corner. God, these super predators, man. There's no conscience, no empathy. Figure out how they got that way, but first we got to bring them to heel with their mandated vaccines, right, Joe? You didn't learn shit.
Corner. These pandemic politics, as I refer to, are making people sick, causing unvaccinated people to die. We cannot allow these actions to stand in the way of protecting the large majority of Americans who have done their part and want to get back to life as normal.
They did their part. They did their part going to the doctor.
I'm announcing tonight a new plan to require more Americans to be vaccinated.
Good job.
To combat those blocking public health.
Blocking public health.
My plan also
increases testing. Let me just tell you guys.
Testing.
This is such fucking malarkey. This is the most malarkeyest malarkey I've ever fucking malarkeyed, bro. Who is blocking public health? Your donors. Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's who's blocking health. Your party's blocking health. Not giving Medicare for all. You're blocking health. The minorities are not blocking health. How dare you? How fucking dare you, bro? Do you hear the language he's using? He's not even trying to cover it up. The minority. This guy is such a fucking douchebag, bro. Oh, like literally, sometimes I feel bad for him because he's a dementia-riddled little man, and like he's being used. He's being used as a punching bag. The CIA and the intelligence community, and his party. His party's fucking bashing him too. But like literally, I just literally want to smack the shit out of you every time I see your face, bro. Because you just literally piss me off. The minority. Blaming it, punching down, bro. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you talk about the minority? Why don't you give health care to the minority? Didn't you think we were so dumb we couldn't open a laptop? Well, how about you give us health care then? I don't fucking get it, bro. I don't get how you can literally blame people that are living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford copays, and your fucking health insurance premiums. And you can just stand there and fucking actually put the blame on them when you are literally the head of state, the commander-in-chief. That's some, bro. You're a coward, Joe. You're, bro. Just want to say. I hope this fucking speech is we're like fucking 6 minutes into it. Oh my God. I don't think I can really. This is fucking so gross, bro. This whole speech is gross.
What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see?
I need to see Medicare for all. A Green New Deal. Legalizing marijuana. Minimum wage increase. Evictions moratorium. Canceling rent. Oh, wait. That was a rhetorical question? Were you leaning on the pulpit? The bully pulpit?
We've made
acting like we did
vaccinations
something
free,
wrong when we're too
safe,
poor.
and convenient. The vaccine is FDA approved.
What more do you need?
Over
We gave you
200
everything
million
already.
Americans have gotten at least one
Same thing you
shot.
said about the fucking Black Lives Matter.
We've been
I
patient.
gave you everything. What do you
Our
want?
patience is
You want
wearing
police
thin.
reform? Fuck you. I gave
your
it to you
refusal
already.
has cost
It's my air
all
you're
of
breathing,
us.
nigger.
So please do the right thing. But just don't take it from me. Listen to the voices of unvaccinated Americans who are lying in hospital beds, taking their final breath saying, if only I'd gotten vaccinated.
Oh my God.
If
What kind of
only.
propaganda was that? Hear that shit? What kind of propaganda was that? Lying in bed. That was like a whole picture. Oh, I should have gotten vaccinated, Robbie. Robbie, if only I got vaccinated. God, I'm going to look that up. What kind of propaganda was that? It's not a red herring. It's not whataboutism. God, what was that? Guys, if y'all know what kind of propaganda that was, where you like paint a picture, like a scenario that's never occurred. That's some shit. They do the same thing with marijuana. Every time you bring up marijuana legalizing, they're like, well, I don't want to drive next to someone who's high. Nobody talked about driving while you were high. Talk about legalizing. Like they will always come up with this imaginary scenario where someone's driving high when you want to legalize marijuana. Y'all notice that? That's the same thing he just did right there. Oh, I should have gotten vaccinated, Robbie. It was all your fault, Robbie. If only you made enough to fucking have a doctor copay, Robbie. God damn, why don't you just go to the Obamacare fucking market, Robbie?
While we wait,
It was so right there, bro. Didn't know
We've done
how to
our
open a laptop.
we bought enough boosters, enough booster shots, and the distribution system is ready to administer them. As soon as they are authorized, those eligible will be able to get a booster right away in tens of thousands of sites across the country for most Americans at your nearby drugstore and for free. The third piece of my plan
For free, Joe?
is keeping, and maybe the most
Are you
important,
sure,
is
Joe?
keeping our children safe and our schools open.
Are you sure?
For any parent, it doesn't matter how low the risk
Joe,
of
are
any
you sure,
illness
bro?
or accident is when it comes to your child or grandchild. Trust me, I know. So, let me speak to you directly. Let me speak to you directly to help ease some of your worries. It comes down to two separate categories. Children ages 12 and older who are eligible for a vaccine now, and children ages 11 and under who are not yet eligible. The safest thing for your child 12 and older is to get them vaccinated. They get vaccinated for a lot of things. That's it, get them vaccinated. As with adults, almost all the serious COVID-19 cases we're seeing among adolescents are in unvaccinated 12 to 17-year-olds, an age group that lags behind in vaccination rates. So parents, please get your teenager vaccinated. What about children under the age of 12 who can't get vaccinated yet? Well, the best way for a parent to protect their child under the age of 12 starts at home. Every parent, every teen sibling, every caregiver around them should be vaccinated. Children have 4 times higher chance of getting hospitalized if they live in a state with low vaccination rates rather than states with high vaccination rates. Now, if you're a parent of a young child, you're wondering when will it be the vaccine available for them? I strongly support independent scientific review for vaccine uses for children under 12. We can't take shortcuts with that scientific work. But I've made it clear I will do everything within my power to support the FDA with any resource it needs to continue to do this as safely and as quickly as possible. And our nation's top doctors are committed to keeping the public at large
Top
updated
doctors
on the
like
process
Fauci,
so parents can plan.
like
Now to the schools.
redacted Fauci.
We know that if schools follow the science,
If schools follow the
And implement the
science,
safety
and I
measures
don't
like
have to do a
testing,
goddamn thing
masking,
like Medicare for all, or
adequate ventilation systems,
I don't have to fucking get it,
social distancing,
do shit.
and vaccinations.
Just fucking shake
and
my
children
finger
can
at
be
you on
safe
this
from
bully pulpit.
COVID-19 in schools. Today, about 90% of school staffs and teachers are vaccinated. vaccinated. Should get that to 100.
How much longer is this fucking speech?
My administration has already acquired
I don't give a shit,
the
bro.
Defense Department and the borrow up to $2 million from the current $500,000 to keep going if COVID-19
Keep
impacts
going.
on
If
our
you keep says
long-term
COVID.
loans require no repayment.
Every time it
for
says
2
guys, it
years
says COVID. Drink.
and be can use to hire
I'm getting
and
the tequila
retain
out.
workers.
Fuck this shit.
Purchase
I can't take
inventory,
any more of this fucking speech.
or even pay down higher
I'm
cost
dying.
debt racked up since the pandemic began. I'll also be taking additional steps to help small businesses stay afloat during the
No,
pandemic.
you won't. Shut the fuck up, you liar.
Sixth, we're going to continue to improve the care of those who do get COVID-19.
Oh yeah? Even though they're
In early
stupid,
July,
bullshitting
I announced the
minorities.
deployment of surge response teams.
They made little Robbie go to the
These are
hospital.
teams comprised of experts
Should have known,
from the
Robbie.
Department of Health and Human Services, the CDC, the Defense Department, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency,
Defense
FEMA,
Department.
to areas in the country that need help to stem the spread of
The
COVID-19.
Defense Department needs to help stem the
Since
spread.
then,
What?
the federal government has deployed nearly 1,000 staff,
Okay, what the fuck?
including doctors.
Guys, what does the Defense Department have to do with COVID? Why is the Defense Department stemming the spread? Why are you making the Defense Department do everything? What the fuck is up, Joe? I do not need the Defense Department to help to stem the spread. This guy is radical, bro. How are they going to do that? What would you like them to do about that? Would you like them to fucking arrest the non-vaccinated? Or like what? What would you like the Defense Department to do with stem the spread? What are you talking about, bro? This is one of the reasons why I don't like listening to your speeches, because you say really eerie, spooky things like that. And I have no idea if you mean it or if you're just dementia-riddled old man. But what the fuck does that mean? What? Okay, sorry.
Nurses, paramedics, into 18
God damn it, shut the fuck up. Let's just go to the end, please. I get it. The minorities suck. All right. Anything else? Minorities suck. We'll just go 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Let's see what's up. Joe, what's your last words, bro?
million vaccines, over 90 countries, more than all other countries combined,
Bro.
including Europe, China,
25
and Russia
minutes
combined.
on literally vaccines.
That's American
bro.
leadership on a global
That's
stage.
hardcore.
And that's just the beginning.
Someone must have shot you with a vaccine.
We've also now started
Someone
to ship
shot you with a booster, bro.
500 million
You're going
COVID vaccines,
Going harder than me
Pfizer
right now.
vaccines,
Jesus Christ.
purchased to donate to 100 lower-income countries in need of vaccines. And I'll be announcing its steps.
Oh my
to the
God.
rest of the world
Shut the
later
fuck
this
up,
month.
bro. Nobody cares.
As I recently released the
Release.
key parts of my pandemic preparedness plan,
Yeah,
so that
preparedness.
America isn't caught flat-footed with a new pandemic comes again, as it will.
What are you planning the next time,
month,
bro?
I'm also going to release a plan.
The next
in
time a
greater
fucking
detail.
Trump comes along, you need to fucking
So
destroy
let me
the
close
economy.
with this.
Yes, please.
We've made so much progress during the past 7 months of this pandemic.
Yeah. You mean the 7
Recent
months that you were
increases in
president?
vaccinations
We
in
made
August.
we made such progress from the past 7 months. 7 months, huh? What happened 7 months ago? 7 months ago, he became president. Yeah, because the pandemic was like way before that. It was in March last year. That wasn't 7 months ago. What was 7 months ago? When he was president. Because that's what he cares about, right? You guys, it's so funny. It's like he's literally saying it. He's saying it. I don't give a shit about you. I'm president. I want to keep being president. I want my party still in power and take the fucking shot so we can stay in power. That's literally what it must be tied to. Must be tied. Your numbers must be tied to you maintaining power, because you be bringing up a lot. That's what I get from this speech, guys. What I get from this speech is these vaccines are tied to his power. That's what I get. That's what I get. What do you guys get? Let me know. www.tominationpolitics.com, facebook.com/tominationpolitics. All I want to know is that this guy, no conscience, no empathy. Find out how he got that way. But first, he needs to fucking look fat. You want to do some push-ups? Bring you to heel, bro. You're a lying dog-faced pony show. You ever been to Iowa? Guys, this is Tommy Nation Politics. Be free-thinking, innovative, open-minded. Just know that there are real leftists. And we are pro-choice, pro-gay, pro-black, no matter what president, no matter what strategy, no matter what Biden Build Back Better administrative program. We're always going to be pro-choice. We're always going to be pro-black. We're always going to be pro-gay. We're always going to be life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, empathy, a hand down. And we're never going to punch down. We're going to take responsibility for our actions. And we're going to rule with truth, justice, and love, like a real leftist does. These guys are not the left. They are imposters. Stop calling them the left. Please. Jesus Christ. Have a good Saturday.